Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah.
And I'm Bill, your co-host. We're so glad you're here with us today.
In today's episode, we're going to talk about something super important for English learners. Common English phrases that you can use in real-life conversations.
Yes, these are the kinds of phrases that native speakers use every day. You'll hear them in casual chats, at work, or even when watching movies and shows.
Exactly. If you want to sound more natural and confident when speaking English, learning these phrases is a great way to start.
And the best part? Once you understand how to use these expressions, your conversations will flow much more smoothly.
So, in this episode, we'll not only introduce you to useful phrases, but also show you how to use them nowadays in everyday situations.
Plus, we'll give you examples, tips, and even some fun mini-dialogues so you can hear how these phrases work in context.
So grab your notebook or just sit back and relax, and let's get started. So, Bill, how's it going?
Not bad, Sarah. Can't complain. What about you?
Pretty good, thanks. I had a busy morning, though. My coffee machine stopped working. I had to run to the cafe down the street.
Oh no, that's the worst. But hey, at least you got your coffee, right?
Yeah, true. You know me. I can't function without my morning coffee.
Same here. I feel you. Without coffee, I'm like a zombie in the morning.
Laughs. Totally get it. By the way, did you watch the new episode of that show we talked about?
I did. It was awesome. I binge-watched 2 episodes last night.
Wow, you really got into it.
I couldn't help it. The story just pulled me in. Anyway, let's not spoil it for our listeners.
Good point. Okay, before we jump into today's topic, let's go over a few common phrases we just used in that little chat.
First, I said, not bad, can't complain. That's a casual way to say, I'm doing fine.
Right, and I said, pretty good, which is another friendly way to respond when someone asks how you are.
I also said, that's the worst. A very casual way of expressing sympathy when someone tells you something annoying or frustrating.
Then we had a line, I feel you. That means I understand how you feel, or I can relate.
And don't forget, binge watch. That's when you watch multiple episodes in a row. A very common phrase these days.
Perfect. So those are just a few phrases you might hear every day, and as you can see, they come up naturally in simple conversations. All right, let's dive into our first group of common English phrases, everyday greetings and responses.
These are the phrases you use when you meet someone, whether it's a friend, a coworker, or someone new.
Exactly. Of course, we all know the basic hello and hi, but native speakers often use more casual phrases in daily life.
Like, what's up? Or, how's it going? Let's break these down one by one.
First up, what's up? This is an informal way to ask, how are you? Or what's going on? You'll hear it a lot among friends.
And the typical answer is super simple. Not much. Or, just chilling. Or even, hey, what's up? Back again.
Next, we've got, how's it going? This also means, how are you? But it's a little more relaxed than asking, how are you doing?
You can answer with, good, pretty good, can't complain, or even, same old, same old.
Another great one is, long time no see. That's something you say when you haven't seen someone for a while.
Yeah, it's informal and friendly, like when you run into an old friend or a colleague you haven't seen in weeks.
Let's act out a quick dialogue using these.
Sounds good.
Hey, Bill, long time no see?
Sarah, what's up?
Not much, just working as usual. How's it going?
Pretty good, thanks. Just got back from vacation.
See how casual and natural that sounds? These greetings help you connect easily with people.
Right. But remember, phrases like, "What's up?" or "How's it going?" are informal. So they're great with friends, but maybe not in a formal business meeting.
Good point. If you're in a more professional setting, you might want to stick with "Good morning," "Nice to meet you," or "How do you do?"
Yeah, those are more polite and formal.
So choose your greeting based on who you're talking to and the situation.
All right, coming up next, we're going to talk about asking for help and information and share some super useful phrases for everyday situations.
Welcome back. Now let's move on to another very useful group of phrases, asking for help or information.
This is something we all need to do, whether we're asking for directions, help with work, or even help understanding something in English.
Exactly. So let's go over some common and polite ways to do that.
The first phrase is, "Can you give me a hand?" This means, "Can you help me?" It's casual and friendly.
Right. You can say that when you need help lifting something or when you're working on a project. For example, "Hey, can you give me a hand with this report?"
Next is, "Do you know where?" This is great for asking directions, like, "Do you know where the nearest ATM is?"
Then we have, "I'm looking for." This phrase is also useful when you're trying to find a place or thing. For example, "I'm looking for the bookstore."
And another polite option is, "Could you tell me?" This is a bit more formal, like, "Could you tell me how to get to the train station?"
All of these are great because they're respectful and clear, and that makes people more likely to help you. Let's try a quick role play.
"Excuse me, can you give me a hand?
Sure, what do you need?
I'm looking for the library. Do you know where it is?"
Yes, it's right across the street next to the coffee shop.
"Thanks so much."
Simple, right? These phrases help keep the conversation polite and friendly.
Exactly. And if you're not sure how to say something, just remember to smile and be polite. Most people will appreciate your effort.
One last tip. If someone says something you don't understand, don't be afraid to say, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" "Duh, I didn't catch that." These are great phrases to keep the conversation going.
All right, coming up next, we'll show you how to agree or disagree politely. In English. It's going to be a fun one.
Don't go anywhere! Welcome back, everyone. Now let's talk about something that happens all the time in conversation, agreeing and disagreeing.
Yep, in every discussion, it's normal to have opinions, and expressing them politely is a key skill in English.
That's right. You don't want to sound too direct or rude when you disagree with someone, so let's go over some useful phrases.
First, here are some phrases to agree with someone. "I think so too." "You're absolutely right." "That's a good point." "I couldn't agree more."
These are great for casual and professional conversations. They show that you're listening and that you respect the other person's opinion. Now let's look at some ways to disagree without sounding rude. "I see your point, but I'm not sure I agree with that." "That's interesting, but I have a different opinion." "I understand what you mean, but let me explain."
Notice how all of these start with something respectful. You're not just saying, "You're wrong." You're inviting conversation.
Let's give an example.
I think learning with real conversations is better than just memorizing vocabulary.
"I couldn't agree more. It's more natural, and you remember the words longer."
Okay, now let's try a polite disagreement.
"I believe that watching movies is the best way to learn English."
That's interesting, but I think listening to podcasts might be better for improving your listening skills.
Hmm, I see your point. Podcasts are definitely great for that. See how respectful that sounded? That's the power of polite language.
Exactly. Agreeing and disagreeing politely helps keep conversations friendly and open.
Next, we'll talk about phrases you can use to express your opinions clearly. So stay tuned. All right, let's keep going. Now it's time to talk about how to express your opinions and emotions in English.
Yes, being able to share how you feel or what you think is a big part of real conversation.
Let's start with some easy and natural phrases to express your opinion now.
Here are some common ways to give your opinion. I think. In my opinion. I believe that. From my point of view.
You can use these in both casual and formal situations. For example, I think learning English through podcasts is very effective.
Exactly. And don't forget to support your opinion with a reason. That makes your conversation stronger.
Now let's talk about not emotions. How to say how you feel in English.
Here are a few simple and useful phrases. I'm so excited. I feel a bit nervous. I'm really happy about it. That makes me sad.
These are helpful in personal conversations. For example, if you're talking about learning English, you might say, I'm proud of my progress. Or, I get frustrated when I don't understand fast English.
Let's try a quick conversation using both opinions and emotions.
I think speaking practice is more important than grammar.
In my opinion, both are important, but I agree. Speaking builds confidence.
Yeah, I feel really motivated when I can have a real conversation in English.
Me too. It's such a great feeling.
So remember, sharing your opinion or feelings helps you connect with others. Just use the right phrases and speak from the heart.
Next up, we'll teach you how to end conversations naturally and politely in English. You won't want to miss it.
Now, let's talk about something super useful. Making suggestions and offers in English.
Yes, this is how we help others, give ideas, or show that we care. It's important in both friendly and professional conversations.
Let's start with suggestions. Here are a few common ways to do it. Why don't we? How about? Maybe we could. Let's.
For example, why don't we practice English together after lunch? Or, let's watch an English movie tonight. And when you want to offer help, try these. Would you like me to? Do you want some help? Can I help you? Shall I?
For instance, would you like me to check your English homework? Or, can I help you with your pronunciation? Let's show you a quick example.
I'm having a hard time understanding this grammar lesson.
Would you like me to explain it to you?
Yes, please. That would be great.
Sure. Also, how about we review it together tomorrow, too?
Good idea. Thanks, Sarah. See? Offering help or making a suggestion doesn't need to be complicated. Just use the right phrase.
Absolutely. These small expressions can make your English sound much more natural and kind.
Coming up next, we'll show you how to end conversations naturally and politely. That's an important part of any chat.
All right, we're almost at the end, so let's talk about how to end conversations politely in English.
Yes, whether you're talking to a friend, coworker, or a stranger, it's important to end the conversation naturally and respectfully. C'est qui?
Here are some common phrases. It was nice talking to you. I should get going now. Let's catch up again soon. Talk to you later. Have a great day.
These phrases work great in both short and long conversations. They help you leave the talk on a positive note.
Let's show you a quick example.
Let's show you a quick example.
No problem. It was really nice talking to you.
Same here. Let's catch up again soon.
Definitely. Have a great day. Simple and friendly. Ending the conversation with a smile makes a big difference.
Exactly. And now, let's wrap up today's episode with a quick review and some final tips.
We've covered a lot today. And now it's time for a quick recap of the most useful phrases and a few tips to help you practice them.
Let's go over the main parts of today's podcast. We talked about how to use common English phrases in real conversations, including
Everyday greetings and responses. Benny, like, how's it going? Pretty good. Or, nice to meet you.
asking for help or information, such as, "Can you help me?" Or, "Do you know where I can find?"
Agreeing and disagreeing politely. Phrases like, I couldn't agree more. And, I see your point, but
Expressing opinions and emotions. For example, "I believe that," or "I feel really proud."
making suggestions and offers. Phrases like, how about we, or would you like me to help you?
Ending conversations politely. Like, "It was nice talking to you," or "Let's catch up soon."
Now, how can you make these phrases part of your everyday English?
Here are 3 simple tips. 1. Repeat and record. Practice saying these phrases out loud. You can even record yourself and listen back. 2. Use them in real situations. Try to use at least one new phrase each day in your real-life conversations, messages, or online chats. 3. Create mini dialogues. Write or speak out short dialogues using today's phrases. You can even act them out with a friend or in front of a mirror.
Practicing like this helps you remember naturally, and before you know it, these phrases will become part of your speaking style.
That's the goal, sounding natural, confident, and polite in English conversations.
Thank you all for joining us today on the Moth English Learning Podcast Home.
Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode with your friends, and keep practicing every day.
Until next time, keep learning and keep speaking. And that brings us to the end of today's episode on how to use common English phrases in conversation.
We hope you found these phrases helpful and easy to use. Remember, practice makes perfect.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to try out these expressions in your daily conversations. The more you use them, the more natural they'll feel.
And keep in mind, making mistakes is part of learning. Every conversation is a chance to improve.
We'd love to hear from you. If you have questions or want to share your favorite English phrases, please leave a comment below or reach out on our social media.
Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any new episodes from the Product English Learning Podcast. Chapter.
Thanks so much for spending your time with us. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and remember, learning English is a journey, not a race.
Exactly. Take it one step at a time, and soon you'll be speaking confidently and naturally.
See